Failed.
Fail.
Today we are heading down to explore, I think they're called Imperial Sand Dunes close to Brawley, California. We're gonna go explore, play a little, and also along the way we're gonna be talking about why we chose to travel on a classy motorhome versus maybe a travel trailer, fifth wheel, class A, class B, truck camper truck, one of those. So just come on along.
Today it's really hot out here. There's a little bit of breeze, but the sun is just beating down on us. It's about 80, but it feels warmer than that with the sun directly on you. It's a nice day though.
I mean, the wind's starting to pick up now that the sun's going down. Some of the reasons that we chose the Class C was one, because it was a motorhome, and we would be able to have two vehicles if one of them was out of order. We needed something that was decent size, but it wasn't like fifth wheel size either. So we wanted something small, but then also big enough to where we both could get adjusted to each other, because he had his own house, I had my own house, and then we were going from being on our own to moving in together, but not only moving in together, but going into a tiny place. It just fit better for what we were looking for at that moment, and until now we haven't regretted. We love it. Push it. Is it not going? No, right? Failed.
Fail. So we failed at our attempt to sled down the sand dunes.
It was, like you said, it was the steepest hill.
We picked the steepest hill that we could find, and the little makeshift sled we bought didn't work, so it was too flimsy. We got like a floor mat type thing for boots, and it didn't work. It was too flimsy, it just dug in.
With our luck, an ATV is gonna just fly down here and just...
Yeah, it's a good way to go. Would be a good action shot.
But you're gonna post it. We looked into fifth wheels, we looked into Class A's, and we even did look at Class B RVs, but those didn't really work out for us the more we looked at them. We definitely looked a lot at Class B's, because at that time, which was like, I want to say it was about 2 years ago, that Paul Michael approached me about the idea of traveling and living small. So we thought about going like minimalist. So we looked into Class B vans, and while some of them are super cute and everything, it just didn't fit for us, because again, we were both coming from huge houses and we're getting rid of that, moving into a small space, and we both had cats. Paul has one and I have one, so, and they're both female, so that was going to be some major. The Class B's, it just wasn't big enough for us. We both needed like workspace because we're both working full-time. So even though it was some of the vans that we saw that were cute, and I think we could have made it work, but it just wasn't for us. It definitely just, no. It just wasn't for us. So we ruled those out, mainly because of the size of the RV. We just needed something bigger. So we went from Class B to let's look at the fifth wheels, which that's a whole different ball game. From Class B, we went into looking at fifth wheel. Well, the fifth wheels was the way I really wanted to go back then. It all came down to, it was easier to travel with the Class C. The thing that we like about the fifth wheel was the fact that we would have more space, living space, like the kitchen, and we were looking at the toy haulers and that back garage with having the patio and all that stuff. That was really nice to have, but that was one of the things that were like, we don't really need it. The other thing was the fifth wheel pricing, and kind of like the one that we wanted, even used one, was going to be a little pricey. Plus, we would have to buy the trucks. With the cat, granted, I had to leave my Penny home because she never did get along, and she was getting to the point where she might destroy the Class C. That was one of the reasons that we were looking also at the fifth wheel. It would have more room for the cats to keep them separated. But at the end of the day, we thought we could make it work in a Class C. The other reason we didn't pick the fifth wheel is because put the cat into a crate and move him into the truck. For us, I don't think at that moment it was something we could do, especially with two cats. Even though we wanted something bigger, again, it wasn't something that we really needed, especially because we were thinking about traveling more. At that moment, our plan was to travel a little bit faster than what we're doing right now.
We wanted to travel a little more, even though we're still kind of going month to month. It's still a little easier to maneuver, getting in and out of gas stations and even into parking spots. As far as going Class A, of course, you're going to have bigger maintenance as far as tires. If you get the diesel engine, it's going to be harder to work on. My thinking on the RVs, difference-wise, was that when I first started looking into it, I was thinking smaller or larger instead of in the middle. And so with fifth wheels, to me, that's like the best choice if you're going to sit still and not travel for a long, like a month or two at a time, or even seasonal. You got more space, it feels more like home. The main benefit is not having an engine or transmission to maintain besides your vehicle that you're using for towing. If your truck breaks down, you can stay in your RV. If you have a Class A or like ours, a Class C, then if it breaks down, you lose your home too, because if you're living in it full time and you have to take it to the shop, then it may have to stay there for a week or more, who knows.
Right.
So then you have to either rent a motel room or rent an RV or something. So that's the major difference between them, in my opinion. That would be one reason I might decide to choose something different in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe go with a fifth wheel because you don't have that extra maintenance. So right now we have the tow vehicle, so we've got 2 engines and 2 transmissions and more tires to maintain. Whereas if we had the trailer and a truck, then you just have the 1 engine and transmission.
But then the benefit of us having the Class C is the fact that we can go into different places with the car without having to worry about the Class C. I mean, the size, trying to get into different places.
Yeah, but with your fifth wheel or travel trailer, you could take your truck and explore just like the car.
Yeah, that's
and it's
true.
not much larger, but the car is nice because of the gas mileage, for sure.
Yeah.
And Class Bs, the vans, they're just a little too small for 2 people, in my opinion, especially with our stuff we have, the filming gear and working and everything. It's a little tight for us. Class C is just about perfect. I mean, it's working really well. We sure like the fifth wheels though, having the extra space and the extra rooms, but that might be an option in the future for sure. Somebody ended up in the bunker, the big bunker. I don't think there's any getting out of this one. I think the main thing that you need to think about if you're planning on getting a RV or fifth wheel, travel trailer, whatever you're gonna get, is look at all the benefits each one have and the negatives that for your style of travel, because everybody's ideal RV is gonna be different based on what they're gonna do, whether you're gonna be parked for a long time or travel every other day or every week. Or if you're just a single person traveling solo, a van might be better, or a truck camper. But if you've got a family, of course, you're going to need at least Class C or something larger to hold everybody. So it all comes down to just doing your research and deciding what's best for you as far as fuel mileage and storage and everything else. And at the end of the day, we factored in everything, and at the time, it seemed like the Class C was the best choice for us. And so far, we haven't been disappointed. We still like that fifth wheel, and we might end up getting one eventually, but for now, the Class C is doing just fine.
We love it. After having a big old fail with the sled, which technically it was just the tray for shoes, right? Or was it like a litter? Anyways, that didn't work out. We're heading back home. And we'll call it quit for today. See you next time. Bye, Felicia.